I'm Harriet Arden Bird, and I'd like to read to you from my fantasy novel, Aru's Realm. It's, I've got just a few paragraphs. I'm going to read a paragraph from several different chapters because I want to demonstrate to you the theme of each chapter having a different color. Each chapter has the emotions, events, essence of a particular color. So the first chapter is you're in the deep woods and it's black and mystery and death, and that's only the first chapter. So this is the first paragraph in the second chapter, which is red. Liberated from the confines of the wagon and freed from the shadow world of the forest, Aru stood and gaped. She'd forgotten about direct sunlight. The morning sun hit the iron-rich rock beneath her feet, causing the crimson and scarlet to glow as bright as a paper lantern. The landscape around her shone as a marvel, bathed in blazing colors. Aru held her palms upward and pointed her face eagerly toward the warmth of the sun. Through her closed eyelids came fiery orange light, mottled and wavering, and with wholehearted appreciation, she felt the sun's radiance on her skin and circulating with her blood. This is in chapter 4. This chapter has the theme of brown. November's bearing trees filled the woods, and the cool air felt moist to the travelers. The smell of soil had reached them less than a week after departing Anzio, 2 full days across the sands before they'd arrived at the dirt track which bordered the eastern foothills. After another half-day's journey north, they made it to one of the depots where horses and camels waited to be traded and wagons could be bought. Aru and her friends needed stop only for a dark and foamy coffee and some friendly conversation. The camels, which Gronk had secured for them, would carry their cargo right to the village of Sylphane, as the pair had business in the mountains beyond. This is chapter 6. I'll just let you see if you can figure out the color of this. Just a few weeks later, Aru woke to frosty window panes and a colorless sky. She stood barefoot in her cotton camisole and petticoats, examining the tracery of scalloped, feathery designs made by ice crystals on the glass. Narao placed his hands on her shoulder, and as she turned, he offered her a teacup brimming with hot malted milk and reminded her that Veya and the girls would be there soon. It was mooing day. Aru nodded. She smiled and gazed out over the luxurious mantle of virgin snow that shrouded the world. Absently, she held her cup and saucer, sipping the drink. The weather inside was balmy, thanks to birch logs crackling away in the stove, and outdoors everything was dazzling and silent. The familiar landscape looked majestic, all dressed up in winter. The fluff of puffy clouds had settled on the naked trees. Snow piled impossibly high along each branch, ladening all the boughs to the tiniest tips of their twigs. The conifers, too, stood glistening, loaded with heaps of snow, muffled and cozy on a hushed morning, and reminding Aru of pointy-hatted, long-bearded, cumulus gnomes. She and Narao had been waiting for the first substantial snowfall to make travel easier so they could move their belongings up to the summit. They were thankful for the loan of a horse and sleigh because they had somehow collected quite a few possessions since they'd arrived in the area. Everything had been packed into crates and flour sacks, save for a few dishes and other items they might need today, such as candles, matches, and tissue paper.
That snow is white, right? And that yellow?
Yeah.
That's, show us the book. Let's hold that up for us. That's really.
It's a nice
Wow.
cover.
Yeah, I like that. That's available through those books?
Yeah, I just put it on consignment today,